Blessings Bakanyiselwa. Today we are resuming with the other class of teachings that we started some time ago, and it is about the ancestral cloths. We have already uncovered two of these ancestral cloths already. One is about the sun cloth and the other is about the leopard cloth. If you haven't checked out those videos, please do. Today we are uncovering the mystery of the lion cloth. The lion cloth is a very sacred cloth, and there are many varieties of this cloth. But for this post, I'd like us to talk about this specific one right here because it holds a specific mystery. Our ancestral cloths are our own Bible. They have been encoded with a lot of mystery and they have a lot of teachings. Each and every one of the teachings that we have uncovered by Ubab Credo Motwa and Abangoma Abafihliweyo is actually recorded on each and every one of these cloths. The Abakanyiselwa recorded their mysteries on these cloths, and these cloths are very powerful. They have been encoded in accordance with the mystery teachings of Abangoma Abafihliweyo. The lion cloth has many levels of interpretation. This interpretation that I'm giving is based on the mysteries Zabangoma Abafihliweyo. This cloth, first of all, is a very important cloth because it represents the mysteries of the current time. The time we are under is represented by this cloth. So, therefore, all initiates should be wearing this cloth. And in fact, most initiates have this cloth already, which is definitely understandable. This cloth carries the ancient stories of our past and the current mysteries of the present. It carries a story of creation, the story of the stars and the origins of humanity. One day I will tell you this sacred history. This cloth is for the type of initiates who we may call umdao. The word ndao is an ancient African word that means lion. Ndao, by definition, not by tribe or whatever, by definition means lion. So when I say this cloth is for Amandao, I mean the cloth is for the lion people or the lion initiate. If you dream of lions, this cloth is for you. If you feel connected to the lions, this cloth is for you. If you have a lion as a family totem, or you have a lion in your clan names, this cloth is for you. At the same time, this cloth is connected to those whom we may call psychic astrologers, the Urma'a. Although Urma'a is only a seer, but what we have here is the great astrologer, oracle seer. Those who are able to foretell the future or divine through oracles, and at the same time they are gifted in using the stars for divination. They may use stones, shells, cards, divination cards, right? Dominoes, dice, divination boards, numerology, etc. These people are gifted seers, they are gifted astrologers, and they are gifted oracles. They are very much connected to astrology, astronomy, and they themselves are connected to the stars. So this cloth is for the star-born ones, the star seeds. That's why there are stars printed all over this cloth, because it is for those who come from the stars. But they are not just star seeds, they are the descendants of the lion people. That is why they will often dream of lions. These lions are actually their star ancestors. It's their star guardians, and they are their star family. They are part of their star family from which they descended from, whether through bloodline or in terms of previous lifetimes. Right? The initiates who wear this cloth are the children of the lion people, the Lyrens, or the Amandawe as they are really called. These galactic ancestors are half lion, half human. Umdawe is a lion or even a lion tribe. That is why initiates who dream of this cloth will also dream of lions. Some people won't even dream of this cloth. They will simply dream of lions, and that would mean that this cloth is theirs. Because the initiates of this cloth are very much connected to the lion, Umdao. Before these cloths were made, initiates would actually wear real lion skins, and they would decorate these lion skins with precious shining stones as representations of the stars. The very same stars that we see represented on the cloth. Astrologically, this cloth is connected to the house of Leo, and Leo is also Heru, so therefore this is the cloth of Heru. It speaks of the return of Heru and the return of the star-born ones. Although I have to add that this cloth is more about the origins of Heru, the conditions of Heru, and the future of Heru, and nothing about the eye of Heru. Well, it does talk about the eye of Heru, but only to a certain extent. There is a certain ancestral cloth that is strictly and specifically based on the eye of Heru and its mysteries, but we'll get into that cloth soon. When we look at the symbology of this cloth, we see that there are 6 pointed stars, which are actually hexagrams, right? Consisting of one triangle facing down and the other facing upwards. This is the Star of David. This star is also a sacred symbol of astrology, and it's a sacred sign of the psychic astrologer because it encodes the first law of astrology, as above so below, meaning that which happens among the stars will also happen below the stars, or it will affect things below the stars. When we look at this cloth, we also see that there are 5 stars on each horizontal side and 3 stars on each vertical side. This is all symbology encoded through numerology. The 5 stars represent change. In numerology, 5 represents change, and change is astrology. Astrology is basically the study of change and the study of cycles. So 5 is the sacred number of astrology, and if astrology could be represented in a number, it would be the number 5. In astrology, number 5 is Leo, because Leo is the 5th sign or the 5th house, hence you have the lion cloth, right? 5 is also the number of the instructor, the hierophant, the umfundisi, the ukobela, the guru. So this cloth is also for those initiates who are gifted with ubufundisi, with ubukobela. They are gifted teachers and they are gifted instructors. The word for lion means ruler in most languages, like in Zulu. Ingonyama means the ruler of all flesh. These 5 stars printed on this cloth also represent Orion or Matsieng, who was accompanied by a dog and a lion. The 5 stars represent exactly that. The 3 stars in the middle of the 5 stars represent Matsieng or Orion, and the 2 stars on the 2 ends represent Sirius and the Leo constellation, which is the dog and the lion. Right, and in the Leo constellation, specifically a star called Mbube Ndingile, also known as Regulus, and Regulus also means royalty. On the other hand, these stars also represent the 5 main important stars. Right, it's the Imbube, the Leo constellation, Injebomvu, Sirius, Matsieng, the Orion constellation, Mbube Ndingile, Regulus, and Inkanyezi zika Amarava, the stars of Amarava, in which Alpha Centauri is part of. On the vertical end of the cloth, we see 3 stars. 3 is the number of creation, and these 3 stars also represent the Orion constellation. The Orion constellation is the star which these lion people are said to exist. The Leo constellation is where these lion elders are said to originate. This cloth is a star map designed to show the wearer of this cloth about their sacred origins. And there by the corner there, we see a star that is surrounded by a plant, right? This plant is the sacred plant of the astrologers. Some tribes actually use the palm tree, right, which is also another plant for the psychic astrologer. This plant is called the Zuzu plant, and this is how it looks like in real life. It represents time and change, just like the palm tree, right? And both these plants are sacred to the astrologer. They are under the custodianship of the psychic astrologer. And chances are, if you are an initiate astrologer, you will feel a certain kinship with the palm tree, and it will always follow you around. And this is not by coincidence, right? Now, this cloth, as I said, is actually a map in more ways than one. It is a map that shows us where the star seeds came from among the stars, and it also shows us where the Amandawe are to be found among the stars. It tells us about how to return to the stars, right? It tells us about how to return to the place of Amandawe, but we will get to cover that on another video where we talk more about the hidden history of Amandawe. What we can disclose for now is that this cloth is also connected to divination and divination bones. To this day, divination bones are called Didau or Didaula or Indaula or Ingonyama. All these words mean lion. In fact, Didaula doesn't just refer to bones, but it also refers to any tool that is used for divination. Divination shells can be called Indaula. Divination stones can be referred to as Didaula. Right? Although originally divination bones started with lion bones even before the baboon bones were used. When we look at the stars that are in these circles, we count 16 of these stars in total, 5 on each horizontal side and 3 on each vertical side, making a total of 16, right? 5 plus 5 plus 3 plus 3. 16 is the total number of bones that a diviner must use, right? And this is a rule for a particular system of divination. In fact, there are 2 systems of divination. One system uses 4 bones and the other system uses 3 bones. Each of these systems has a particular rule, right? There are particular rules associated with these systems. The 4 stars on the corner represent the system of divination that uses 4 bones, and the 3 stars represent the system of divination that uses 3 bones. This cloth doesn't only give us a map for systems of divination, but it also gives us a map for systems of astrology. There is a system of astrology that categorizes the 12 astrological signs into 4 great houses, each containing 3 houses or 3 star signs. Then there's another system of astrology that reverses the set. It's the 3 great houses, each containing 4 star signs, right? These are the mysteries of the 4 in 3 and the 3 in 4. And 3 times 4 is equals to 12, which is the 12 star signs. The law of the 3 in 4 and the 4 in 3 is also the law that makes up the basis of the pyramid. In total, we have 20 of these stars, including the ones on the corners, right? And 20 is also another system of divination, but it falls under the system of the 3 in 4, not the 4 in 3, right? So we have all this information encoded on this one cloth. That's why I said this cloth is also a map. It maps out, first of all, the sky, showing us the constellations that are important to Earth. It maps out where the Amandawe are found among the stars. It maps out the structure of divination and the 2 systems of divination. It maps out the structure of astrology and its 2 systems of interpretation. It also maps out the basis of a pyramid and how to build 2 different kinds of pyramids, right? And lastly, and most importantly, it maps out the way back to the stars. Since the people who wear this cloth are descendants of the stars, right? They descend from the stars. They are also being given a map that gives them direction as to how to get back home, how to get back to the stars, and which stars to go back to. But this is the most secretive part of our ancestral tradition, which is best left untouched, because a lot of people are simply not aiming to go back home. And thus to disclose such information and to disclose such a map might not be useful for now. But rest assured that the Bantu are well aware of ascension. They have their own version of ascension. We have our own initiation for ascension. We have our own approach towards ascension, and we have our own version of the mystery teachings of ascension. So far ahead are the Bantu, or I should say the indigenous people, with such mysteries of ascension that we have stories about ascended villages. Imagine a whole village ascending. But that is a story for another day, I guess. And in as much as Ndawu or Ndawu means lion, sometimes when you ask Sangomas what Umdawi is, they tell you that it's an ancestor that is foreign to your tribe, to one's tribe, right? Some say this means that it's an ancestor that originates outside of Africa, of South Africa rather, right? And this is not too far off, since we sometimes call foreigners aliens. And from what I've just said, we can say that basically this cloth is for those who are connected with the star beings or alien beings in their varieties, regardless of whether they are lion people, bird people, fish people, reptilians, etc. That is why I first said this cloth is for the star seeds, and there are many varieties of star seeds. So, in conclusion, if you dream of this cloth, you must know that the elders are telling you that you are a star seed. You come from the stars. That is why you love astrology, and you sometimes stargaze, and you sometimes dream of the stars and other celestial bodies. You dream of other planets, you dream of the stars, and you dream of star beings. It is you who this cloth is for. On the other hand, you are a gifted oracle if you dream of this cloth. You dream of divination bones, and you dream of divination stones and divination cards. You may even dream of the Bible. The Bible is astrology, and the Bible can be used for divination. You may dream yourself teaching people. You may be told that unobufundisi or unedlozi lobugobela. You may even be passionate about teaching people, or you may want to study teaching as a career. That would be very much aligned because you are the teacher. On the other hand, these people are also very creative because they carry the number 3, which is the number of creativity. Such people are also gifted in terms of oracles, and they may find themselves being drawn to oracles and various kinds of divination tools. This is good, and they must study those things because that's where their map back home actually is. The elders put certain secrets in there. Let's just say it is an ancient gift from one generation of initiates to another, just like this cloth right here. So if you are not drawn to astrology, because there's no one size fits all, right? And if you are not drawn to astrology or divination tools and oracles, and you find yourself not giving much care about the stars, and yet you dream of lions and you dream of this cloth, do make sure that you try out some of those things to see if they will not spark any interest. And in fact, you'll find that you are very good when it comes to those particular things. Bakhanyiselwa, we have come to the end of our lesson for today, and this should be lesson 3 of the video series on ancestral cloths. So be sure to stick around as we go deeper into the knowledge encoded within each cloth. Please do subscribe, please do like, do share, and also do leave a comment. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. For now, we can only say, Tsao.